Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to another episode of Tabletop Reviews. A little bit delayed by a couple days here, but that's because of my finger here. You probably see that it's completely blanking out. I've squeezed it in a safe. If you don't know anything about safes and their doors, is that they're incredibly fucking heavy. So yeah, I was basically on painkillers Sunday and Monday. It's feeling a lot better now. Luckily no operation or anything was necessary. It's kind of like this and we're waiting to see for a little bit more. It doesn't hurt as much now. It's still a little bit like I might lift it a little bit from my phone here. But to keep it simple, we're doing a 5 games I've played, because I've played another 5 games so I can talk about them. And part 12 I've written down here. Start off with Marvel Mayhem. One of our friends we played games with had a birthday and he got Marvel Mayhem. I was like, sure, this is one of the first Marvel games I've ever played. Yeah, just haven't gotten a hold of any Marvel games. I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. And the reason for that is because I don't think it's shit. It's fine. It didn't do anything for me. So basically you take up a character. And this was Iron Man, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel, I believe. With the 4 characters here. I played at Blackland. Then you have some specific attacks to you. 3 each. Have some specific cards that have a specific attack that's specific to your character. Other than that, you can defend yourself, or you can attack, or there's a third thing, whatever. And you play cards to do this. You play 1 card and you draw 1 card. Wait, no. You draw 1 card, then you play 1 card. So let's have 300 cards in your hand. Some symbols allow you to draw 1 more and play 1 more. And sort of what I started the game doing was just going for 4 cards in a row. Attacking and defending myself. Really good start, and it's just one of those games where you're immediately, someone has a good start, you turn around and you just shoot at that person. So immediately, after having a good start where I tried to distribute attacks, I was just kicked in the groin by everyone for 1 round. Everybody just attacked me, right? And immediately I'm like, what a shit show. It's an interesting enough on its own, but what a shit show that you attack someone, right? And then at the point they were like, oh, he's going to attack you now. I have 2 health left. He's going to attack for 2 health. Oh, I think I actually only had 1 health left. And he's going to attack for 2 health to all of us. You have, or was it 3 health or whatever? I think he was going to attack 3 health. I had what I said 1. So I needed to heal by 3 to survive. I was like, okay, I'm just going to defend myself. No, he's going to attack you. Well, so you need to heal. And I'm just sitting there looking at him. You fucking piece of shit. What are you talking about? I need to heal. I can only heal if I have the cards. And I don't have the cards. What do you mean I need to do this thing? I can't do anything other than just defending myself, so I'm fucked. I'm dead. So I just said, now I'm just dead. Fuck it. And it's like, you can't just pack up. What if he wanted to? I looked at my friends like, are you stupid enough to waste your attack on someone who's already dead? No. I didn't think so. I'm packing up my shit. What the fuck? You can't sit there going, oh, you need to do this. Yeah, well, let me just look through my deck. Oh wait, I can't. I have these 4 cards to use and none of them heal me up. What the fuck? So yeah, anyways, those 2 ended up battling it out. I somehow didn't lose. I just came 3rd. Yeah, 2nd last, right? It's fucking... So yeah, it's a 5 because honestly I like the concept of it. You have the same things to do, but then you have a few things that make you a little bit special. I sort of like that. The Marvel theme was whatever, but it's got to be a 5 out of 10 because, like, in the end, it encourages you to double down. It's just terrible in that sense. So it's a 5 out of 10 because it's fine. It's whatever. Would I play it again? There's other things I'd rather play than that, but I wouldn't be opposed if you just had that game and that was the only one. Like, should we eat this here whilst we wait for our dessert to arrive? Sure. Fucking, yeah. Next up, a cooperative game called Forbidden Island. Finally, I'm playing, well, another big game. Actually, I've played Risk, but it's not on this list yet. Forbidden Island, I've given it a 6 out of 10, and I'm finding myself enjoying cooperative games less and less. We've played this one, played Endangered, and one other one. Besides Viticulture World, I can't remember. We played 4 cooperative games. This one, Endangered, and Viticulture World, and one other that I can't remember. And it's kind of annoying. Me and another guy, we usually sit there and we understand the game very deeply, and we just kind of think, what if this? I try to phrase it as a proposal, like, would it be a good idea if you did? And usually people are just like, oh yeah, sure, let's do that. And I don't think that's funny. What I really liked about Ready to Go to the World, and this is like, me and that guy were playing together, and we discussed before we started, like, what's the best starting position? What are we going to do? What do we need to do to try and win? And then we try to do that in like a cooperative manner, and we talked about it. The thing is, we're both like really high level on this one, so we just discussed with one another. If there was a third person, or some of the other guys we usually play with, my fear would be that they would just sit there and go like, okay, sure, so what do you want me to do? You want me? Okay, I do that. And I think that's a problem I have with some cooperative games, is that is what's going to happen. Is that me and my friend, we're going to sit there and we're going to dominate because we are fucking smart as fuck, and the other people know that we're pretty smart as fuck, and they're just gonna listen to us. And that is an issue I have with yeah. But the context of Forbidden Island, I like that. If you explore this island, is falling into deep, where you're trying to get these artifacts off. It's really, you're obviously displaying into human greed, and you can kind of say that's a bad thing. But it's kind of funny the way you're moving around. You have ways to counteract the island falling apart. But in the end, what are you going to do? What I think was interesting is reshuffling, and therefore adding the same in again, and therefore we need to be careful about these areas because they're the ones that are going to reappear. In the end, we secured it. Like, we looked at it and we thought, okay, if we do this, bam. Now all you need to do is just be here at the end of your turn, the next round, and we did that, and we won it. Yay! But in the end, I'm still sitting there feeling like the two others that we were playing with, it's a 4-player game, they didn't have much influence. Like, it was me and him. Right. We tried to include them, but it's just, yeah. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because I did like it. I think it was interesting, the way of moving and trying to balance things out. But in the end, I can't look at a cooperative game and give it very high notes. I don't think. It's just cooperative games, man. Next up, Llama. Not Llama Dice. Llama. It's a card game where basically there's a starting card out with 2, and you can play a 1, you can play a 2, or you can play 3. So it's +1, -1, or 0, right? In terms of like where you can go from it. And you're just trying to get rid of your cards first. If you get rid of your cards first, the cards everybody else has on hand, that's plus points to them, unless they're the same card. So let's say they have 2 llamas and a 1 llama. Then a llama would give you 10, but there are 2 of them, so it's just 10 because there's only 2 of them, and then 1, so that's 11 points. A llama can only be added to a 6, and on a llama you can only add a llama or a 1, so starting the row over again, right? But on a 6 is still 5, 6, or llama. So fairly interesting in that way in playing it down, and I find it funny to try and sit there and go, okay, it's a 4, I have a 3, I have a 5. So which way do I want to go? Which way? It's a quick thing, right? Like, do I just want to go for the 5 because I always have a 6 and a llama, so I want to get rid of it? Do I want to try to trick them, think I want to go lower with the 3 and hope that they go higher for me? It's interesting. I find it funny to try and sit there and try to be like quick. Right, it's just fun. But in the end, I just like this game because it's just fun. Also, if you get rid of the cards and you have some tokens, get rid of those tokens. There's tokens that are worth 1 point and tokens that are worth 10 points. So you want to get those 10-point tokens and get rid of them. I'm giving this game a 7 out of 10 actually, because it's just a fun card game. It's not really take that, it's just playing the cards. I think that's what makes it so much better than Uno for me, because Uno is allowed to take that. This is not. You're just playing the cards, trying to get rid of your cards, and trying to maybe trick your opponents to think that you want to go low, then they go high, and you go high, and yeah, or whatever. Or just playing your cards like you think is the most effective way. And it's not because it's going to cost a lot. I say you think about it. Usually go there, it's, 5 seconds. There's no reason for the analysis purpose. It's just a fun, simple card game that can go for a couple rounds and it's over in 15 minutes. It's great. I love it. 7 out of 10, we've played it so many times recently. 7 out of 10. Next up is a game that I was surprised when I read it down and I'm like, oh shit, I've talked about this? We've played this so many times. It's Lords of Waterdeep. Talk about this. We've played it so many times, I haven't talked about it. Waterdeep is a place in Dungeons and Dragons, I've told. I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons. All I know is that they told me Waterdeep is an important place in Dungeons and Dragons, which is like, to me, is like, well, an important place. I thought Dungeons and Dragons was just like, Here are the rules of the world, and here are the creatures of the world. Go out. And then you could make, you know, you start in the town of Bombington and you go for the Annali trophy. And that's, you know, the game. I thought that was how it is, but apparently Waterdeep is an important place within it, so... Listen, I don't know anything about Dungeons & Dragons, I think I'll just end it there. Basically, Waterdeep is a worker placement, where you try, most importantly, to complete quests. That's what's going to give you the most amount of points. Quests can be just straight up, you get 20 points for this one, maybe you get 2 coins as well. Or they can be a few points, maybe 5 points, but then throughout the game, every time you get an orange resource, you get an extra orange resource. Or every time you complete an Arcana quest, because all the quests are like Arcana, Piety, Skullduggery, and 2 or 3 others I can't remember them in my head, sorry. And then every time you complete one of those quests, you get an extra point or 2. So you want to go for those quests. And at the same time, you have a special card that tells you for each of these quests you've completed, you get some extra bonus points at the end. So, you'd want to try and do that. I was like in one game, I was going for Arcana through my card, and I got a quick card that was like, every time you complete Arcana, you get 2 extra points. So it's like, I'm gonna get like 6 extra points for each Arcana because of that card. So, obviously I'm gonna go for Arcana. So yeah, it's actually fun. And you build some buildings throughout that enables you to do different things, right? And first you have very basic things to do. You know, get 1 of these resources, get 2 of these resources, get an extra quest card. Then you build buildings that are like swap coins for resources, but the person that owns the building gets a choice of these resources or gets the coins from you. So you all of a sudden you start thinking about those things. And interesting buildings. I don't think I've seen all buildings actually. Even though we played a lot, I don't think I've seen all buildings. So yeah, I would say it's a game that's really good at 2 or 3. If you go towards 4 or 5, it gets so clustered. It gets so clustered because you don't have and you don't do it much because you don't have many workers, right? Because it's a limited amount of worker placement spots. So therefore, at higher play count you get less workers. At lower play count you get more workers. So I prefer that lower worker counts, player counts, because you do more each turn, and it's more open each turn, and then you start building buildings. And halfway through you get an extra worker. So therefore I prefer that lower player counts. But it's still a fun game, and I've talked about playing with the expansion so many times, and it's just every time I mention it, I don't really want to. Every time I don't mention it, I would have wanted to. What the fuck is that smell? So eventually I'm going to play the expansion, I might talk about it here. But also Waterdeep is a 7 out of 10 for me. It's actually pretty fun worker placement. It's the same as Llama, huh? That's funny. Anyways. 7 out of 10, it's funny worker placement. I happily play it every time, but well, not every time actually. That's why it's not 8 out of 10. I will happily play it again, but it's not every time I'll feel like playing it. Fucking hell, there's a smell in here. So let's quickly finish off with Hint. Hint is it's not a quiz game. It's sort of getting your teammates to guess the correct words. There's 6 words, 5 of them you can guess. The other one is a red card, and you are automatically get minus points if you guess that one. And it's all kinds of different things. Swedish actors, football terms, things at an airport. And then you can either mime it, you can, depending on the version. We specifically play more the red version, but I played the blue and the white version as well. But it's like you can mime it, that's going again, you can sing it. Usually that's songs, so it's songs containing the word Denmark, and you try and... Which one is that? Or there's just talking, just sitting straight and talking and trying to get them to guess the correct words. So it might be, I don't freaking try and guess Brad Pitt. It's like, Troy, main actor Troy. Brad Pitt, okay, great. For example, or what else? The figures you go drawing it, all these kinds of things. And it's actually pretty fun doing all this kind of thing, but you need to be outgoing. I can be outgoing in the group, but when there's new people, I'm more... and some of the other players aren't really that like, hey! You need that to actually be capable of doing this game, like miming and stuff going up. So, me and another guy, we have a lot of fun with it. The other guys, not as much, because they're not as outgoing, so it's a little bit there. But I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, because it involves funny situations in the right group, and it's actually fun to try and guess these things. Sometimes it's like, so difficult. But other times it's whatever. And that's another edition of this one, and I'm gonna do the outro real quick, and I'm gonna figure out what the hell that smell is. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Tabletop Reviews. I will see you in the next one. Bye!